Okay, time to get September started. So, let's do our journal setting up. Now we are in the fall months. We've got a new Archer and Olive. So this is from their latest fall collection, the Harvest Mouse. How stinking cute. I love it's got like a soft cover feel. Love it. I love the colors of these ribbons too. But let's, what do I even want to do? I've got this paper I pulled out. Actually, I do really like the vibe of that. Let's do that. Do I want to put down washi tape first? No, I don't. I've been loving, this is from Sticky Club. What a thing that has been bringing me joy this year. I'm surprised I don't think I've mentioned it in a favorites, but I should, because it's so fun and like, I don't know, I really get a lot of use of everything I get because you get to kind of choose. You can flip between different themes, so I haven't gotten anything that I don't like. The only thing I don't love that they do, every once in a while you get like one of these little notebooks. And I don't really have a use for that, you know, because they don't like stay, I don't know. But you know, I'm sure I'll find a use someday. Maybe I could bring it to work as scrap paper. Okay, I feel like I want washi tape. Yeah, let's keep with the, I guess it's not a book theme on there, but I'm gonna do this roll of books. I think that'll look cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay, then we need to write September. Let's do this guy. Great. Okay, that's that. We'll leave this side blank for now. My card of the month. We've got Bear, dreamer of primordial stories. So I gotta get a picture of that and put it in here. But now, let's get the Hobonichi out. I just got in yesterday my 2026 Hobonichi. I've kept up with this. I don't even want to call it keeping up with it. I feel like that gives it a thing of like, it's been a chore. It's not been. I have done every single day, and it is bringing me so much joy. That's more the feel. See, Hobonichi release day. I've got a gnat. Some of the things I purchased. So it came in yesterday. Unfortunately, the actual planner, very dented. And like that doesn't typically bother me, but it was like the whole top corner was creased in. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to, there's no way for me to like bend it back, and I'm gonna be sitting with that for a full calendar year. And they're not cheap, so I don't know. Contacted customer service, we shall see. Okay, what do I want to do? I have this paper that I think came in last month's Sticky Club. I think I like the look of this. How do I get you out? Oh, there we go. Right, is that feeling like the vibe? I think it is. Yeah. Oh, and then what to use for the smaller tab, that's the question. I think we used the plain brown last month, right? We did. What can I find that's maybe more fun? Would this be kind of big? Oh, no, maybe actually, I feel like I really like that. That makes it feel a little bit more solidly September, right? I think so. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, yes, cute. Oh, I really like that. I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I think that's good. Wow. I feel like I have a system to how I do these layouts now, but it just doesn't take that much time. All right, excellent, done. Hello, children's librarian, clocking in real quick. I have been on a little, rabbit hole, perhaps? Mission, perhaps? Ever since I saw, well, okay, we've all known for a while now. We're going on a Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, rant? Question? Not really. Not a rant. We just all know. Horrendous. That she's horrendous. We've known that for a while. You know what I mean? But, you know, which of course is disappointing in many ways, but especially, you know, since probably a lot of us, I know I did, grew up with Harry Potter, loved it, created such a magical childhood reading experience. So, you know, with that, it's like, eek. But ever since she came out and was like, yeah, guys, if you support, like, the money you put into supporting my work does, like, that she takes that as you supporting her views, because that's, like, where the money goes. No thank you. So, once I heard that, I was like, okay, absolutely not. Let's put the children's librarian hat on, because at this point, Harry Potter is old news. Came out a long time ago. And in adult books I'm reading, like adult YA, magical schools come up quite a lot. So I'm like, this is not unique anymore. You can't tell me that there isn't something that like feels the same. I'm not looking for something that feels like a copy, but like that gives that same magical feeling, has that like magical school element, written for that middle grade, you know, children's age, that we could be reading instead. You can't tell me that there isn't that. So I went down a rabbit hole of like looking for things, and there's a few that I have read that I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I could totally see that. And then some I haven't, but that I had on my shelves at work. And so I just finished the first book because I found this series, and I bought this series for the library a few years ago because there's this one girl who, she's like, oh my god, she's like a full teenager now, but when she was a little younger, she came in all the time and she would check out like tote bags filled with books every time she came. She was just like the most avid reader, still is, but you know, reads YA now. And she just had, truly somehow is probably like an 11, 12-year-old, she had her finger on the pulse of like middle grade books, because she checked out the coolest stuff, and then she would ask us to get certain books which we can borrow from other libraries, but every time she did, I always looked, because I'm like, I feel like I should just buy it because she has the best taste. This is one of those series. So when I've been meaning to read it for years, and then when I saw it came up on this list for like Harry Potter alternatives, I was like, okay, we gotta do this, we gotta read this. So I read the first book. It is the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. The first book is The Trials of Morgan Crow. I just finished this yesterday, and oh my gosh. I know a lot of like children's books and middle grade, obviously, but I will say it is rare for me to like really sit and read a whole middle grade book. You know, because it's not written for me. It's written for a different age group, so sometimes I find they don't like capture my attention. So I'll like kind of skim read just to like know enough of what's going on. This one though had me from start to finish. It was giving me those same feelings I can remember feeling reading Harry Potter, of like just the world feels so magical. The story's so good. It's got like all the elements you might want, but it is different. So I think that was something maybe I was looking for as well, because again, it's like I wasn't, not that I think there are like copycats out there, maybe there are, I don't know, but I wasn't looking for like a direct like magical wizard school, you know, I didn't need that. This though, magical school elements, trials, like Trials of Morgan Crow, same kind of like lonely child brought into this magical world. I loved it. I loved it. And so I just wanted to talk about it because I think, again, as an adult, I loved this so much. I'm already sitting here thinking like, I can't wait to go to work so I can get the next one, because I just want to start reading it now. But the reason I really wanted to like know these books is that I would love to make a reading list, because I'm sure there are a lot of parents who, you know, maybe are my age or a bit older that read Harry Potter growing up, now might be at the point, at least this is what I'm seeing at work, they're at the point where they've got children who are like getting to that age. And I know a lot of parents who are like, like, I'd love to share this magical experience I had as a child, but now we're feeling eek. But like, you know, I don't really want to share this writer, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to kind of compile a list of books that would share that magical experience without supporting someone with wild views of the world. So yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I think my view for a long time was like, if, like, I totally understand people wanting to like, you know, share that with children, because like, oh, what a magical world. So my view for a very long time was just like, well, like, read it, but maybe check it out from your library, because, or borrow the books from a friend, because that way she's not getting any money that way, you know what I mean? As I can talk from experience, one, we get donated, I couldn't tell you the last time I don't think I have ever purchased a Harry Potter book, because we get donated people's old copies. I've got a stockpile, so every time a book gets worn out, I've got a replacement that was donated. But regardless, like, you checking it out is free. So that was my view for a very long time. However, I feel like she's ramping up to a point where, like, again, this is my own view. Maybe I shouldn't be going so deep into this. And I don't have children, so, you know, I don't think it's wrong necessarily to like share those stories. However, the way I've been seeing it, because of like all the stuff I've been seeing, she's really been ramping up, is like, gosh, I don't even want to look at that. Like, I don't want to look at that at all. Well, we can acknowledge it, but I mean, like, it's hard to, like, look at her works and, like, not think about that. And so I'm like, there's so many more writers in this world that could be supported, who are great people. If you'd like to see the list, I'm happy to share. I shared some on my Instagram stories because then, I don't know, there's a lot of really cool books, and I can't wait to keep reading more of the ones I found, because really amazing, like, authors of color, who just have some others who, I don't know, just like their views better. I'm rambling. I just think it's been an interesting conversation I've been having in my own head. A thought I've been having in my own head of, like, you know, do we have to engage with this work? Like, it's so iconic, but there has to be something else, and I'm discovering, and let me tell you, highly recommend. I love it so much. There's 4 books out. A new one just came out, so the books are still coming out. I think it's got potential to, like, you know, how many books is Harry Potter? 7? I don't know. I'll keep you all posted as I read into the next books, but first book was a showstopper. Okay, I'm gonna stop my ramble there. Because I'm talking out of my ass a little bit. Anyway. Okay. I wanted to come on and give the very random, but I know there's a lot of crossover between the tarot lovers and the book lovers, and I have quite the library haul here. I don't know what got into me. I am usually, because I work at a library. There's no need for me to have a true library haul, because most of the time I've got like maybe 2 out at a time, because I just have out what I want to read in this moment, and then when I'm done I go to work and can get another, you know what I mean? But I have really, because fall is such a good time to read, isn't it? And it brings about my favorite kind of book genres, settings, I don't know what you call it, but I get real excited for fall reading. And like I'm very much a seasonal reader, so if it is set in the fall time, I am not gonna read it until it is fall. Just how it goes in my brain. And so I was making my fall list. I have it on, I just joined Fable, so if anyone's on Fable, let me know. I don't remember what my username is. I keep losing my train of thought. But yeah, Fable. The reason I say that is because it's really easy to make your own shelves on there. Really love that. So I've been going through and kind of adding my want to read list from, I'm on Storygraph as well, and breaking it up into seasons on there. Love that. I have it in my reading journal too, but it's helpful to have it on my phone because I don't bring the reading journal to work where I get the books. So I was going through making the fall list and just sort of looking up, like, what does my library have, what don't we have. There was a lot that I really want to read that we do not have at my library, which means I have to request them from other libraries. And then Magick has worked and they come in a van to the library where I do work. Interlibrary loan. If you don't know about it, look into it. It's magical. I'm pretty sure every state has it. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty certain. It's where all the libraries in the state, you can send books. So if your library doesn't have it, still check the catalog or ask at the desk. They can get it for you usually. So anyway, I went on a spree of requesting because I get in my head that it takes a long time. It doesn't. Usually it's like a week maximum. So they've been coming in. My coworkers probably think I'm cuckoo bananas. Because this is not the usual for me, so they're probably like, what is she doing? As they keep putting all these books on my desk. But anyway, kind of fun. I think I kind of want to do this now, like, every season. Because having a physical TBR pile is not something I ever have. And so, I get it. I get why having one is so pleasing. Like having this stack here, and when I finish a book, I can immediately be like, ooh, here's my pile to pick from. Yes. So since I have it here, I thought it'd be fun to do a little library haul. I've got like 2 books, 2 books that I own because one was new last year and I wanted to read it last year and then I didn't. And our library didn't get it. So either the option is to wait 6 months, drive to another library, or buy it. So in those scenarios, sometimes I buy it. Not often, sometimes. And then another one that none of the libraries had. So, but they're not in this pile. This is library haul. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm rambling. Starting with what I'm reading right now. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Oh, that's why. Oh, I was trying to Google it before and kept putting Drewis. I don't know why. C.G. Drews. So good. So, it's fun. It's spooky. It is spooky. I say fun spooky. I don't mean it in it's like a lighthearted, like, it's dark. It's dark, but I personally don't find it like very, very scary. But my meter for that could be different. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't do scary movies. Like, I cannot do like scary horror visual media. Cannot do it. Books though, for whatever reason, it doesn't bother me. Probably because it's like, I've got the image in my own head. I don't know. So, but it's a spooky one. Spooky. We've got that. Then we've got Wayward, Amelia Hart. I keep hearing so much about this. It is a multiple point, is that what you call it? Multiple point of view, question mark? But one where it follows like 3 different women, 3 different time periods. And I've never picked this one up because I don't love jumping around like that. I really don't. I don't like different timelines. Generally don't like it, but I just keep hearing about it. And it has such good reviews, and I'm like, you know what? Just because I don't usually doesn't mean never. So we're gonna try that. Belladonna, Adeline Grace. I didn't know this was a spooky one. You know why? Because I think I put this in the Foxglove King series in my brain. It's not part of that. And I haven't even read that, so I don't know. But I put them in the same category in my head. But then this came up in someone else's fall list, and I was like, why? That sounds summer to me. It's a flower. Not really thinking belladonna, poison. So apparently it's spooky. I can't read this cover without thinking of that Stevie Nicks song. But that's not a bad thing. I like that song. Juniper and Thorn. Ava Reed. What else did she write? Study in Drowning? Study in Drowning. I liked that one, right? No, I'm not quite, I did like that one. I'm more meant, is that the one she wrote? Yes, 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 yes. A Theory in, no, A Study in Drowning. Loved. I did get an advanced copy of A Theory in Dreaming, and now keep in mind, grain of salt, I maybe only got 20% through, but then I put it down. I wasn't liking that one as much. So we'll see. Juniper and Thorn. This one I'm very excited about. Rachel Harrison, Cackle. I meant to read this last year, didn't, and it was on a bunch of lists that I saw. It sounds so good. Very excited about this one. This is not specific to fall per se, but I read, actually, oh my gosh, I just talked about it earlier. You'll have seen this. I got the next one in the middle grade Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend, because the first one, yes, so good. A Lesson in Vengeance, Victoria Lee. Slay. Last but not least, I started reading the first few pages of this. Bride, Ellie Hazelwood. I started reading this last year and was like, I don't know, and so put it down. But then, like, I don't know, I feel like everyone I see who reads it, either like the reviews go from like liked it to love, like really, really love. I haven't seen something bad, so there's that. And then what I have waiting on my, oh, I also want to read, see, I've got a lot of old Neck Alley books. I should make a list of those too, because I need to now, oh my god, crazy. I feel like I need to break these up by month. Oh. Because there are some I feel like I very specifically want to read in October, one of those being Late Night Witches. I feel like that's not the whole title, but Orly Wallace, her new book. It's out, but I got the Neck Alley. I didn't read it in time, but she's on my Kindle, so I want to read it in October. Yeah, I should break these up into piles. And then also check my Kindle. But I'm so excited. I've never had a physical TBR. What? I mean, not like a very, very intentional one. You know, I've got some books, few and far between. Most of my book purchases are ones that I read either the Neck Alley of or a library book, loved it, so I bought it. That's pretty much my collection. There's not many I have that I haven't read. It's pretty much ones that are maybe like, I don't know if they're like indie authors or something, but for some reason the library system doesn't have it. But physical, how fun, how fun. I get it. The book buyers, I get it. However, have you tried a library haul? Because that's free. I think that's the fun thing too. It's like, it feels like getting presents when you do the interlibrary loan, because I mean, it'll just be at your library for you to pick up. You get a little notification being like, it's ready. It's like going to pick up a package. It's so fun. So the other one waiting for me at the library is the Night and the Moth. I think that's my next one. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about that one. So yeah. Anyway, that's the haul. Okay, it is time for the favorites of the month. So let's just get right into it. Where to begin? Let's begin. I have just 2 random favorites this month, so let's start there. The first one being a hair product, kind of brand in general, but I've only tried 2 things. It is the Lola from Rio. This is the Rapunzel Milk Spray. It's like a leave-in. First of all, I love any sort of hair product that has this kind of spray. It is a leave-in conditioner, moisturizing leave-in conditioner. But I think I've been using this almost every day this month. and I love it so much. I have this and one of the hair masks. I think that's what it's called, or like what they call it anyway. Like not a regular conditioner hair mask. I don't know. But I have been loving this so much. I have, oh my gosh, I'm sitting on my shoe because the camera like tripod thing doesn't get quite low enough, so my shoe is a little squeaky. Anyways, actually that's another favorite. Hold on. I got new shoe slippers. They are knockoff Uggs. Slay. Got them on Amazon. My slippers, I've had holes in them for months. My last slippers, and I just was trying to hold out until Christmas, but anytime I walked over any sort of like puddle, or like Stevie, when she drinks water, she gets it everywhere. It was seeping through to my sock. Cannot have that. So when I was looking for other slippers, I wear them like shoes. Like I pretty much immediately change into them when I get home, and I will go outside in them, not like just around the house, the driveway, you know, things like that. And so I was like, I should just get something that has like a really thick bottom so I don't wear through them I had those like 2 years, so I guess it's not like that crazy. But anyway, I remember seeing Uggs that were this like the mini or whatever, and their platform. So I went to Amazon, found the same kind of thing, and they're amazing. I am obsessed with them. Definitely more like a shoe than a slipper, but they're so comfortable. I love them. I love them. So that's another favorite, speaking of. And now they're giving me extra height in my chair. Back to this. I tend to have, it's interesting. I have not dry hair like everywhere. I have this one back section of hair that is really dry, probably damaged. I don't know why. If anyone here is a hair person and knows why, it's like this one back section is like, I can feel the ends are horrible, but the rest of my hair is fine. I don't know. At first I thought it was like from sleeping with my hair down, but I don't sleep on my back, so like the back of my hair is never getting on the pillow. I don't know. Again, any hair experts out there that might know, let it all know. But this has been helping, and the hair mask has been helping. I'm loving this brand. It's Lola from Rio. Smells so good. Again, love the spray. Very lightweight. That's the other thing, is like I can't have anything that is super heavy because my hair strands are finer. So lightweight doesn't make my hair look weird. Love it. Okay. Second random favorite is a pen. I got, where's the other one? I got 2 new pens this month. There it is. Both the same pen, different nibs. They are the Pilot Kakuno pens. Oh my gosh, do I love these so much. So I was really looking for something that, because for my like everyday carry around to work with me pen, I had one of the Kaweco Sports, but the whole like needing to twist it off, put the cap on the end to write, well, it's fine when I'm doing like journaling or things like that, but when I'm at work, and a lot of the time the writing I do at work is like quick notes, things of that sort, where, and I take quick notes often, but not where it's like I would leave this open, so I kept having to like twist it closed, twist it open, you know, just kept taking time, so I just really ended up not using it at work. I know, what such a silly problem, but I really like the idea of like using my fountain pens. So I've also gotten deep into journaling, planning, Instagram, and on Pinterest. And this is a pen that a lot of people have been talking about on there, or do talk about, that is rather inexpensive. So I was like, well, yeah, let's give it a try. So this is the first one I got with this cute, ooh, is that gonna, nope. There we go. Blue cap. And so really what I was looking for was something that just had a regular pop-off cap. So yeah, this is the first one I got. This is in a fine nib because I did want to try that out again. This Kaweco Sport is also a fine nib, and I really like it. I like it for the quick notes I make at work, also like for doing things in my planner. I like the fine nib, so really like this one. However, when it came to my daily journaling in my Hobonichi, I wanted to give the fine nib one more try, just to see. But at the end of the day, I now have accepted my handwriting does not look good with a fine nib. I don't have the best handwriting. I just learned, by the way, this is a aside, but it is thought that there is like a quote-unquote ADHD handwriting style, and I saw that and I was like, no, like, come on, what do you mean? And then I looked into it and the style is kind of either or both, mixing between like capital letters and lowercase letters without rhyme or reason, or switching between print and script. So then I was like, no, and so I kept looking for more everywhere on the internet that was talking about this. And everything was saying the same thing, like mix between print and script, and I was like, oh. Like there's so much evidence that some studies, like, and there were actual studies, first of all, and they're saying like this should really be put into like ADHD testing because it is not everyone, but is so pervasive that they were like, you could do a writing test first and like you could know right then and there. What do you mean? Anyway, so I don't have the best handwriting. I do switch very arbitrarily between print and script while I'm writing. I also don't hold my pens right. That's another thing. I learned that last week. What a time. So anyway, my handwriting tends to look better with a medium or broad nib. So I got a second Pilot Kakuno. This is like in a dusty pink shade, and this is their medium. And for the like long form journaling, love this one. I still use both because this I really like for the calendar section. Anything where it's like I want it to be a bit smaller, I use that. This I use for long form journaling, and I mix between the two of whatever's out for my notes I write at work. Love them. Both of them just have black ink in them right now. Yes, big favorite. Love those. Okay. I think that is it for the random favorites. You know what? Let's show though. Because of being so deep into Instagram, the journaling Instagram, and Pinterest, I have started doing my journal in a different way, or my daily pages, where I am incorporating more like, I've been splitting the page like this, and my journaling will be on this side, and over here is like a to-do list, or this was from Sunday, so the weekends I don't tend to have like a strict to-do list always, so this weekend I really did not, but on Sundays I need to kind of plan out what are we eating this week? And so I did that in this section. Let's go to some work days. I've got a to-do list here. Over here I put like a perfume, the perfume of the day, because I love perfume. And then we do the journaling over here. So I've been liking that setup. Feels very, I don't know, orderly, which sometimes I do enjoy. Okay, that's it now. Let's get into what I read this month. I read 6 books. I finished one truly yesterday, so I don't know what number that is. That might have been number 6. Where do we even begin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, 7. 7 books this month. Because I did finish the first book on the 1st. Did I talk about this last month? I don't know, but I do have the hard copy of this, so should we get that? Because it's pretty. It's pretty. Let's get it. Okay, first book I finished truly on September 1st. Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. Oh my gosh. This is one that I started a very long time, like probably a year to 2 years ago. Didn't get quite into it. Decided to pick it up. I actually bought the whole I'm not a book buyer, but I've been looking at these copies. These are from, I bought these through Blackwell's, so I believe they are like maybe the British edition of them. So much prettier than the US ones. They all have like this kind of style cover, and so I knew I wanted these copies because I'm such a big T. Kingfisher fan that eventually, slowly but surely, I just want to own all of her books. She is just one of those authors that I'm like, I want them. And so when that whole debacle with the shipping was happening in August, right before then, I ordered the set. So anyway, so I have it to show. That's a change of pace. Paladin's Grace. Oh, I just loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. If you were looking for like a cozy fantasy romance, it is so good. What I always say about T. Kingfisher books, it's so refreshing, is that the characters tend to be a bit older than what we usually get in fantasy books. They were over 30, which, I mean, you know, is still young, but, you know, typically they're like 22, I feel like. So having books where they're like over 30, I love it. I love it. And especially like the idea of the romance, I just think that's so nice. I like it. And I like the maturity we get from the characters. It leads to a different kind of story. And I love her writing, and I love the way she does the romance because it just doesn't feel like too much. What a wonderful story. I cannot wait to get to, there's 3 more. Yeah, 3 more in the series. I cannot wait to get to them. What did I give this one? 4 stars. Loved it. Okay, next up oh my gosh, this is out today. This comes out September 30th. It is another T. Kingfisher. This is in her Sworn Soldier series. What is this series called? I don't remember. God of Steel or something like that? Anyways, this is in her Sworn Soldier series, which are more like novellas. They tend to be just under 200 pages. They are supposed to be like spooky horror. The 3rd one in the series just came out, What Stalks the Deep. I really enjoyed this. I really like this series. Owl Crate, I want to say, is coming out with special editions of them. And just how dare. Because I'm probably gonna need those. But anyway, I gave this one 4 stars. My review of the second in this series was that it just didn't feel quite as spooky scary as the first one. This one, I think, definitely got more so back to that feeling I had in the first book of like actually genuinely kind of creeped out. Maybe not scared, but like it's a bit body horror-ish of like, eek. And this one felt like it did get back to that a bit. I won't say, I still think probably my favorite is that first one, but they are such fun, quick reads. I love the characters in it that I would just, if more came out, I still would continue to read it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I think the first one was the best, but the second and third were still really, really good. So I loved that read. Next, oh, I know I've already extensively talked about this, so we'll go through it quick. The Trials of Morrigan Crow. This is a middle grade that 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. The way I described it is if you are looking for a, you know what? No, I actually really do hate to say this. However, I think it's useful information. But I referred to it as like if you're looking for a replacement for Harry Potter, but I do think that this does a disservice because it's not to say that this is like a Harry Potter copycat by any means. I just think it brought me a very similar feel of this magical world, but it is entirely its own. There's not really flavoring of that at all. So again, I say that more to as a like helpful thing of like if that is something you're seeking out, especially if you have kids who are reading middle grade now, so good. But I don't mean it in a way of like it's a direct actual replacement, you know? Oh my geek. Oops. Okay. You know what I mean? But I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I just thought it was so, I finished it in 4 days and it was 460 pages. So it's hefty. It's hefty for a middle grade. I already have the second book waiting for me in my pile and I cannot wait for it. I'm gonna leave it there because I know in another clip I talked all about it. So next I read Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And this is a YA horror, botanical body horror. And this was a 4-star read for me. I thought it was so good. The mystery really got me. The twist at the end really, really surprised me. And while I didn't feel, I don't necessarily go into horror being like expecting to be like actually scared, but I at least want a feeling of uneasiness when I'm reading it, and this one definitely gave me that, of like some of the like botanical body horror things was very like, ooh, but in a way I thought that was so fun. So definitely a really good kind of mixture of dark academia and horror that was great for this time of year. Okay, next I finally read The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and I don't even know where to begin. 5 stars, we'll start there. 5 stars. The first sentence I wrote here in my little review was wow, 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 because it was so good, so good. The world she built was incredible. The cast of characters was incredible. The whole concept, amazing. The trajectory of the story, amazing. The cliffhanger at the end. I am so glad at least that I read this when right after she announced the sequel coming out next year, because it was one of those where I was like, no, 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 like, I need more, I need more. And it just was so good. It's one of those books, I read it and I'm like, I need to buy a copy of this because I loved it that much. So good. If you're looking for like medieval dark fantasy, that's your book. Loved it. Next was a fun read. I read Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This was again like a quick, more just kind of like light, fun read. I gave this 4 stars. I liked, it was like, had a lot of like fun witchiness to it. It did actually mark itself interestingly, or it was marked at least on Storygraph as horror. I I guess I could see where there was like very mild horror to it, but not enough where I personally would put it there. However, there was like maybe a tiny bit where I think it makes it really fun to read this time of year, and so I'm glad I did. That's really all I have for that. Last but not least, I don't even have my entry yet, because again, I finished it yesterday. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is, yeah, it's a YA, and I'm getting really into YA lately, turns out. Wow, I loved this. Such a good mystery, such a good like dark spookiness to it. I loved the setting. I really enjoyed myself. This I gave 4.5 stars, and I know there's more to this series, and I'm very excited to get into them. Yeah, it's a lot of exploration around like there is like an embodiment of death. It's a girl who can never die. So, and she like solves this whole mystery happening within her family she moves in with, her cousins and such, and oh, so good. Again, it was like another mystery where I totally thought I knew how it was gonna end, and I was wrong. I was so wrong. So good. So good. And the ending is like a cliffhanger for another mystery to solve. Genius. I loved it. Really did. So, that was all the books I read this month. I think it's officially time to get to the decks. Okay, let's get into the deck favorites, shall we? So, to begin with, we'll start with the decks I used for Dawn Michelle's Weaver practice. This month was a Beauty and the Beast theme. So, I went with, for my Oracle, the Antiquities of Magick Oracle paired with the new Fairytale Tarot from Lola Scarabeo, which I just got in before September started, and like perfect timing. Because it felt like it matched the vibe. And I really enjoyed using it. It was fun to kind of like get in something new and immediately start using it. Especially since this one was a surprise. I didn't expect to get this one, and it's turned into such a favorite from that selection. But I loved how these paired together, because we kind of have the slight black background with like the kind of burnt parchment look, and then the black title on these cards, and something about like the line work on them just felt like they really matched up. And I really liked the readings these gave this month, and I don't know, they're like paired in my brain now. It's one of those where I just think they look so good together that I feel like I'm going to keep using them together. So yes, very much enjoyed my month with those. That is the Fairytale Tarot from Lola Scarabeo with the Antiquities of Magick Oracle, which is by Gillian Wilde. Alright, next, my favorite pair from the Lionhearts practice that Andy and I do. This one was like, no question. While I have to say, I loved my whole basket this month. This is like one of the few times where I'm actually kind of sad to see the month end, because I could have kept going with this basket. But my favorite, and I think it actually was a favorite last month, and I said like, I'm gonna repeat this pair and put it in this practice, but it's just that good to me. So we're gonna say it again. The Southern Gothic Oracle with the Hedgewitch Tarot. I just really enjoy how these pair together, and I also just really like both of these decks. It's one of those where I feel like sometimes I can really enjoy decks because of like how they pair with another deck, or just how they pair with decks in general. But this is one of those where just on their own, I love both of these decks so much. And then how they go together, I think is so beautiful that it just amplifies how much I love them. And this actually turned out probably to be the pairing that came up the most anyway. But I just think they look so beautiful together, and it felt really perfect for the Virgo season theme going on. It was that perfect kind of like last bit of summer heading into fall energy that September always tends to be. Oh, look at that. Oh, so pretty. I just got in the Kickstarter for, oh, I forget what it's called, but she took like the poison packs and made it their own deck, and I just got that box in. Very excited about it. I love her art style. So yes, that was definitely the favorite from the Lion Hearts practice. Just so beautiful. And now I gotta switch that box out for October is a Seasons of the Witch theme, again like it was last year. So excited. I love that theme. Okay, now my just general everyday reader favorites. I broke my, or how I worked this month was choosing 2 capsule collections, as I'm sure I've talked about. One being a Witch of the Woods theme, the second one being the Lady Knight. And so I had some pretty clear favorites from both of these capsules, and then another set of favorites that kind of just snuck in truly in the last week of the month, but I love them so much that I have to mention it. So we're going to start with my favorite pair from the Witch of the Woods capsule. And I actually just used them this morning. It is the last day of the month, so I wanted to get in another use. It is the Lady Stirling's Wicked Garden Oracle paired with Folkloric Forest. Oh my gosh, are these just like a match made? Folkloric Forest pairs so beautifully with so much, and I'm sure I will continue to pair it with other things, but just something about the way these 2 decks paired, I have a feeling it's going to make it hard to pair this with either of them with other things, because I just think they work so well together. Ugh, how gorgeous. And I think the theme is spot on, because this is supposed to be sort of like a unkempt garden gone wild, and so it's almost like the Folkloric Forest to me feels like the land surrounding it. And it just works. I love it so much. I think they are so beautiful together. I love how they read together. The story quality of this oracle was really so much fun. I just loved this pairing so much that I 1000% neglected the other decks in this capsule, because it's like I just wanted to use these, and that's okay. That's kind of the fun part. So, huge favorite this month, Lady Stirling's Wicked Garden Oracle and the Folkloric Forest. Okay, excuse the possibly awkward pauses. I'm trying to be neat about this, and so I'm grabbing as I go. Well, maybe I'll get these 2 pairs at once. I don't know. But there is just gonna be... Okay, we got the last 2 at once. Okay. So, from my Lady Knight, set, question mark. A favorite was definitely the Woodland Wardens Oracle, specifically my trimmed version, paired with the Golden Tarot. They had such a fun medieval vibe together, but then I loved with the Woodland Wardens how it still brought in that nature aspect that I personally really love. And I think, you know, especially in the summer months and even still in September, I'm really still wanting to bring that in. I'm always wanting to bring that in, but like intensely so. So I was glad that I was still kind of able to hold on to that with the Woodland Wardens with this pairing, but oh my gosh, just again, medieval, what a good medieval vibe. I love the warm and coziness of this too. I just think they look so good together. And it was fun to put two of my like all-time favorite decks together and see that they really work so well. Because I don't know that I would have thought to pair the Golden Tarot with Woodland Wardens. I don't know why, I just don't think I would have. I think sometimes I can really pigeonhole, like, okay, this is a medieval themed deck, I should pair it with something else that is like strictly medieval themed. But Jessica Rue's drawing style feels very medieval inspired to me, just a little bit. But also, because sometimes when I think of this deck, I do think of it with that white border, because I do have a second copy with that white border. And so putting those together, I did not like them. But bringing out the borderless one was a yes. I think they just work so well, don't you think? And I loved how they read together. It was like, look at that. Ah, so good. Such a good time. I really enjoyed those together. So that is the Golden Tarot and the Woodland Wardens Oracle, which does not have any sort of case. It just kind of sits. My reading desk has like a little shelf inside of it, and this just sits there because I tend to use it a lot. Okay, last but not least, we've got the pair that really snuck in the last week that I used almost every single day. And that, two new decks. The Coastal Curiosities Naturalist edition with the Autumn Season Tarot. Oh my gosh, it was very exciting. I think I got these in like one day after the other. I want to say I got the Autumn Season in, then Coastal Curiosities, because I don't think I paired them together in the walkthrough I did of the Autumn Season Tarot, but then this came in the day after and I was like, oh, wait a second. I really want to get some use out of these two before I switch over to my spooky decks. And I think they'd go really well together, and they certainly have. I mean, look at that. I am such a huge super fan of Lennox Reese and all of her decks. I think I have, no, I do. I have all of them. And like all the editions of Coastal Curiosities like a crazy person, but, and I wasn't certain, I will say, because I was like, well, I love my like regular edition of Coastal Curiosities. Do I want to take away the color of the background? But I am so glad I got this edition too, because I think, again, just like having a bordered and borderless version of Woodland Wardens, there is a use for both. And I think having this more like beige background on every card did make it a bit easier to pair with these kind of like fall themed decks. I'm curious to see how it goes with some wintry decks, but I mean, most certainly these two are perfect. I think they go so well together. And it's another one where I'm like, I don't even want to put them away, and I won't. October, I really focus on my Halloween decks, but I have no doubt these are going to be back out for November. I just love them so much. And again, I'm going to have to look for the Winter Season Tarot by Danielle Norman. Yes. So yeah, these really snuck their way into the favorites, but I had to mention them. I just think they are so good together. Look at this. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. So that is the Autumn Season Tarot with the Coastal Curiosities Naturalist Edition. And that, my friends, are my last favorites. So, I'd love to know what you loved using this month, as always. But other than that, I hope you're having a great day so far, and I'll see you again very soon.